here's what I say, that, and this audience is saying it, and I hope the people at home feel it, but listening to you, I'm not a fan of choirs, but you make us feel good, you make us smile, you make us bop to the music.
I'll be honest with you, I don't respond to choirs. If I'm going to stream music and buy music, I've never bought music from a choir. And sometimes, and especially on this show, you know, people, whether they're a choir or a comedian or an acrobat, you know, luckily we get to learn about who they are. And even though we are not here to judge the story does attach itself to whatever it is we're seeing. And these guys, the NFL players, I think is what you're talking about. You know, I had heard this week they had which we didn't talk about on the show, an incredibly rough week. And I had also, you know, just when people are on the show, I have a tendency to Google people and find out who they are. And because these were the NFL guys, I am a fan of football, so I wanted to see the different teams. And then I saw these guys and I saw the charities that they do and the outreach programs that they're involved with that they're not even talking about. So I ended up just liking these human beings, you know, these people. And then they come on and they sing this happy song, and they're just these big guys who are probably part of the most violent thing we can see on television. Football is incredibly violent, and that's what I love about it. But the thing is, and then they just made me smile, and I was just smiling and bopping my head, and I turned around and look at the audience, and everybody is just smiling and bopping their head. And we have these wonderful human beings who are doing things that are so much more important than even what we're watching, than the singing. And I just said, you know, at this time in our lives, in the world, we just want to smile. And what did they deliver? Everybody in that room was smiling. Everybody was bopping. And then on top of it, what they're doing in their real lives is so important and so wonderful. And they're changing people's lives. So that's what I was saying. And it had nothing, it just so happens they're in a choir. And it's not my favorite thing to be in a choir, but I did enjoy those moments when they were in front of me singing. Comedy is subjective, humor is subjective, talent is subjective. And if he was not turned on by whatever it is she was saying, and if it wasn't making him laugh and he was bored by it, there's, you know, that is what this game is. They give us buzzers for that reason. So I don't know that he did anything wrong as far as America's Got Talent is concerned. And in fact, he created this show, and that's just part of what can happen. And it's not the first time, nor will be the last time where somebody gets buzzed in the middle of their act, even at this point in the show. I think it's harder for the acts because the acts have to bring it every time. You know, sometimes with the quarterfinals or semifinals, I can't remember exactly what we called them, but you know, they didn't rise to the occasion. But I remembered, and so did the audience. We remembered their audition, and because they failed, there was an opportunity to give them one more chance. Well, here you can't stumble. You have to bring your A game, and it forces them to be better. It forces us to get a better show, and it forces you as an audience to make a tougher choice. You know, this is the only difference between this and a finale. The level of talent is here, and instead of one person ending up at the end of a finale being the winner, two people are moving on to the actual finale.
I wish we had more control over things. I would be like, I want more golden buzzers. No, I wish we would. No. We don't know what's happening. I mean, you know, for example, I see like how everyone else does, you know, how on AGT on Instagram, you know, how they always post, you know, ahead of the live show, who is all performing, you know, how they show you the 11 acts that are going to be on. So when you guys find out, I find out, and then I just show up and we see the act and we judge it, and then that's it. And then it's up to America to see who actually will, you know, who resonated, who they loved. It's always interesting for me to see, because sometimes you feel like, oh, this one's got it for sure. And then all of a sudden Wednesday comes along and they totally didn't get it, you know? I mean, it's hard, you know, like I said before, we just saw 11 people and only 2 make it through. I mean, so many get cut. So I feel like so many don't have that second chance. You know, like now it's straight to the finale, right? So before there was like another middle step, and now that middle step is eliminated. So people get like one less chance to show again, you know, what they can do. And sometimes it was nice because they were building, and then, you know, the finale. So for me, there's kind of one step missing, but at the same time, it's, you know, sometimes when it's this cut and dry, so it's showbiz. So, you know, so I'm a little torn about it. You know, maybe it's harder for the contestants, but you know, you got that one shot, and I bet there's so many of them tonight. Like, for example, the dog act. How many things went wrong today, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like maybe when she rehearsed, everything was perfect. Then all of a sudden we're on, everyone is watching, and then the dogs are doing whatever they want to do. So, you know, in that moment, when it counts, it's got to work, you know, that's show business.